All right, the real reason drugs are bad, okay?
So I want to make one thing very clear. Drugs are bad, and you shouldn't do them, okay? I don't want to get demonetized
All right, fantastic take, Big T.
because you took some weird angle on what I'm saying in this video. When it comes to drugs, there's a lot of misinformation out there. In one corner, you have concerned parents that a contact high from a reefer cigarette is going to lead to a life of crime. And on the other hand, you have a multi-billion-dollar economy surrounding legitimate businesses that sell
Big Pharma. Got it.
recreational marijuana. So, those parents are confused, and understandably. But today, I'm here to make sense of it all and navigate the weird world of drugs.
But what about also the good drugs? The drugs that are supposed to help you, like medicine and whatnot.
Let's get high on knowledge. Don't do drugs, please. Seriously, don't do drugs because of this video.
They've been lying.
So, at least in America, our ideas of drugs has mostly been shaped by cops and politicians because
why you use that picture from that one instance, dude? Oh my god. And what was that? What was that other picture?
So, at least in America, our ideas of drugs has mostly been shaped by cops and politicians.
Okay, this was, I think, a harmless picture, but oh my god.
Because both cops and politicians are known as the moral authority on most issues. They're always right. Cops across this nation infiltrated middle schools with the DARE program,
the idea
along
of
with
it.
the sexy lion for some reason.
Yeah, when I was in school, I had the DARE program implanted into my brain, and what was it? This one cop came in on with a project board, that like thing that you like fold out, and he had like a bunch of little plastic bags. I don't think they were like real drugs, but it was essentially just like supposed to simulate real drugs. Honestly, I didn't even know. It was probably like what do you call it? It was probably like oregano in the little baggie. It was probably like some powdered sugar to simulate like the powdered drugs and whatnot, or just regular sugar. There's no shot of like a cop would bring actual real drugs in, but he just wanted to show you like what essentially these drugs look like and to stay away from them.
Meanwhile, the government was paying television networks to do anti-drug PSAs and also sneak in anti-drug sentiments in sitcoms. But I was born into a generation that's very specific, which is the birth of the internet. I was around for like the majority of it. So we all started talking in chat rooms and stuff, and we all realized that like, hey, they're lying. They've been lying about drugs this whole time, and what, are they just gonna keep running the commercials? And the messages that they were trying to say were actually really harmful. I don't want to get all liberal on your asses, but it was really harmful what they were doing. So here are just a few of the lies that historically the government and police have told you about drugs, and I just want to clear them up because I feel like we have to move past this as a society. Lie number one, only bad people take drugs. Government
well, yeah, that's like only bad people take drugs. Yeah, that's just makes zero sense. That is a lie, and you are right.
And PSA ads showing drug users as derelicts and just awful people that would do anything they can to harm you in this great nation we call America. But actually, recent studies have shown that 50% of adults have tried drugs. 50%. Okay?
Well, by what definition of real drugs? Like, have I taken medicine? Yeah, medicine's a drug. So by that definition, yeah, I've done drugs. I mean, shit, I got pills like right over there. But they're actually just supplements. So those are drugs.
Have two parents. Do the math. I mean, Jesus Christ, 39% of adults have tried drugs this year. Normal people, stupidly, I should add, try drugs all the time. It's super common to do drugs. Have you been to a college party in recent
Or have you drinking a cup of coffee? Caffeine is a drug.
years? I didn't even know coke was that easy to get. These kids are stupid. I thought you had to be like a billionaire to have cocaine. This kid's fucking 20 and he's doing several lines. And by making drug doers look like demons, you're making society look down upon them, and it makes them look like awful people when they just need to get help, and it's really hard for them to get help because everyone's alienating them. So it's not good. That's a bad lie. Lie number two, try it once and you'll be addicted for life. Once again.
Oh yeah, that's a lie. That is 100% a lie.
Absolute horseshit. This was like the dumbest lie they could have told people. Really, this is like a huge fuck up on their part. I mean, there are some drugs out there that you get hooked immediately depending on the person you are. Like I've heard the Big M is pretty hardcore.
The Big M?
Get into it pretty quickly. But for everything else, probably not. The DARE program and advertising made it seem like everyone was an addict in hiding, just waiting for that monster to come out of us. And that's just the thing. A kid will stupidly take 2 Percocet, wake up the next morning and...
DuPont? Bro, isn't DuPont the name brand on or the label, the company that had was on like the front of like Jeff Gordon's fucking, what do you call it? Who's that racing guy with like the blue race car? It was like there like 15, 20 years ago. I thought DuPont was a fucking like some car company. Am I thinking? I might just be completely wrong.
Not feel addicted at all and feel absolutely fine, and then they're like, oh, they all lied to me, might as well keep doing Vicodin and Percocet. And opiates don't show signs of withdrawal
Oh, science. I love science.
for a very long time. It takes a while for you to get deep into it, until the fact that you can't get out because the withdrawal symptoms are so bad, and then you start stealing copper out of walls and shit.
Bro, what?
It's really, I mean, come on. Lie number 3, and this one's not as serious, but it still makes me really upset. Weed does not give you trippy hallucinations.
No.
I don't know where that started.
It
like,
doesn't.
someone smokes weed in an adult cartoon, and it is just like Candy Lane for some fucking reason.
Well, no, it's an exaggeration, and that's fair. To make it seem like a certain way. Honestly, this looks like an older Simpsons episode. You know? Oh, man. I mean, shit, my fucking neighbor does fucking weed, dude.
I have partaken in Mary Jane every once in a while just because I use it to sleep. I'm not kidding. I have really bad anxiety, and it makes my anxiety really bad, and I don't like to smoke socially, but there you go. But weed doesn't make you see unicorns and rainbows.
No,
in fact,
doesn't.
I don't think there's a single drug out there that makes you do that. If there
Doesn't like, maybe not like the unicorns and shit, but doesn't like mushrooms do that to you?
was, I might try it. I know this whole thing's about don't do drugs, but that sounds crazy. It just makes you feel stupid, relaxed, giggly, and hungry. That's it. And really scared if you're like me. The more accurate information kids have about drugs, the less the kids are gonna do drugs. Full stop. Full stop. I think within history, we're in a better place with all this shit in terms of kids knowing about drugs for realsies. But you know, let's cook out some of this bullshit that I just talked about. Please share the message, share the video, comment, like, subscribe, whatever.
Nice. Okay, so how to actually say no to drugs.
So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of taking drugs and how to avoid taking drugs. I should have said that first. I'm going to embody the sexy dare line for this next segment. So a big part of avoiding drugs is...
It's actually really weird that they like made that lion like aesthetically pleasing to look at in terms of like a male figure. It's just kind of funny when he says it like that.
Dare line for this next segment. So a big part of avoiding drugs is identifying the types of people who do certain types of drugs and avoiding them and finding ways to tell them no. And I know I just made it seem like all government PSAs made drug dealers look like demons, but that's the thing. They don't look like demons. They look like you and me. They look like normal people, so you gotta, you know, figure it out. So I came up with a list of common people that will try and get you to do drugs, and I came up with specific ways to tell those specific people, no, thank you, I'm a dork and I don't do drugs. Number 1, and of course, the finance bros. These dudes. They're doing a bunch of coke.
The finance bros. What?
They're doing a lot of coke. In order to stay peppy while you watch an economy fail over and over again, you're gonna need a substance that's gonna get your dopamine up to a level way higher than God intended. That's why you see these guys at parties or on yachts yakking up a whole heaping helping of cocaine.
Yeah, this is where the whole like rich guy coke meme comes into play.
Or Adderall, crushed up Adderall if they're...
Oh yeah, so stims. So Adderall, Vyvanse, a ton of other ones.
A good doctor. I mean, this is true. Former Bear Stearns CEO Jimmy Kane allegedly kept an anti-acid bottle full of cocaine at his desk. A full one sec, I'm gonna get one of those. A full thing of these, full of cocaine on his desk. That's a lot of cocaine.
Damn.
For personal use, that's a lot of cocaine. So these dudes will eventually corner you at a party and tell you to go to the bathroom because it's snowing in there and they want you to see. Which is nice of them because they want to share their cocaine. Cocaine isn't cheap, but it's not for you. We're not doing that tonight. All you have to do is tell them that you have a heart condition and that if you do a little bit of cocaine, cocaine isn't cheap, but it's not.
The street price of a gram of coke. Average cocaine retail street prices in selected countries in 2019. Dollars per gram. Holy shit. In 2019. Holy crap. This is ridiculous, dude. The prices of cocaine are too damn high. Back in my day, I could have just went to the corner store and get a little...
It's not for you. We're not doing that tonight. All you have to do is tell them that you have a heart condition and that if you do a little bit of cocaine, there's a chance that you might just die immediately and then the body's on them. And they're going to be a little bit paranoid about the situation and immediately back off, which is fantastic. You can also tell them that you have like a friend or cousin who died of fentanyl overdose from doing cocaine because that's a big issue right now.
Oh, damn.
Why are people doing cocaine right now? I guess if you're addicted, but at the end of the day, that is not worth it. It is so common. Number 2, and this one's a little bit of an amoeba, but...
Yeah, fentanyl is actually crazy. in terms of like whatever the lethal dose is. It's like so minuscule. Like you could barely even see it as a lethal dose.
We have this type of person. You know this type of person. I don't want to call
Yeah.
them a hippie because that's an outdated term, but let's just call them alternative. These are people you'll meet in your later years of high school and your early years of college that have the
Oh yeah. I've met people like this.
never gonna die mentality. They put a whole bunch of brain-altering substances in their body in an attempt to
Yeah, these people like to go to Burning Man.
expand their mind when really they just want to get high. And that's fine. That's fine. If you just want to get high, just say that, but don't pretend like you're Gandhi, all right? These guys usually stay away from the big dogs like cocaine, heroin, meth, but they'll go into the hallucinogenics pretty hard. Acid, mushrooms, DMT, Molly, you name it, they're gonna take it. Now these
Oh yeah.
drugs aren't known to be extremely addictive, except for maybe Molly. If you take enough Molly, your brain stops producing dopamine. Like, you just become a sad boy. So don't do that. But if you don't maturely handle hallucinogenics, you can really mess up your mental health for a pretty long time. It happens a lot. So that being said, these guys are going to be a lot more pushy with the hallucinogenics because it's not fun to trip alone. People like to trip together, and I get that, but the cocaine people, if you don't want their cocaine, they're going to say, fuck it. It's my cocaine. I'm so happy you said no. Hallucinogenic people, they already bought 2 tabs, bro. Might as well jump in. So in order to skirt the situation, I suggest setting yourself up to be a designated trip sitter. There's nothing better than that. Every group.
That's actually, I didn't even know that. I mean, I don't do drugs, but to figure out that that's the term, I'm the trip sitter, I'm the designated driver. These are fantastic excuses.
Group of people who are tripping their balls off needs at least one person to be the Australian shepherd to herd the sheep, if that makes sense. This way you'll be seen as a hero while taking care of your friends and also avoiding doing drugs. Now this job might suck depending on how everybody's trip goes, but avoiding doing hallucinogenics with acquaintances in a strange, musty college basement is our main focus at the moment. Plus you get to see people you don't really like make asses out of themselves and maybe have a bad trip and then they learn something about themselves that you already knew. So that's fun. And finally, number 3, we have people who wear pajama pants outside. These people...
Oh, you don't have to do drugs to wear pajama pants in public. There are tons of these people, dude.
Are an issue. They're a problem. They're a real problem. I want to say it's okay to have friends like this. Everyone gives up at one point in their life. They just did it a lot earlier than most people. But that being said, due to their all-around lack of giving a shit, they can go down some pretty dark paths. These guys are the ones who are doing shit that will really take your life down a peg, like needles. You know, nothing good comes from needles. Now that being said, I don't think you have a lot to say to these guys when they offer you drugs because they probably won't offer them to you because people who do hard drugs like this usually don't want to share them. But if
True.
they do try and push hard drugs on you, tell them to go fuck themselves and walk away from the situation. It sucks when people are in the grips of, you know, addiction and you kind of watch them waste away, but it's not your job. That got sad. That got sad. Anyway.
Spooky, scary stories from the news. Bro, of course mainstream news is going to do its best to, what do you call it? Keep drugs with like a hugely negative connotation to them. Of course the mainstream news is going to do that.
Now, like any good government official, I'm going to use scare tactics to make sure the youth doesn't get caught up on them pills. But unlike the government, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give you real God-given anecdotes that happened when people did drugs and it went really poorly, and you tell me the next time you want to light up a doobie, you fucking degenerate. Warning, I'm going to talk about penises, using those penises, bodily mutilation, and other whack-ass shit. So if you don't want to hear about those things, I suggest skip to this timestamp.
Bro, I love hearing about all of that.
And for everyone else who's still here, let's just get right into it. How about the guy who couldn't stop masturbating? Let's talk about him. Salem, Oregon.
The guy who couldn't stop masturbating. What?
Right into it. How about the guy who couldn't stop masturbating?
Man on meth fights off 15 cops while jacking off. Oh my god. Bro, I was at a hospital one time in the emergency room, and one of the people that came in on the stretcher, the dude, or not the dude, but like one of the, who was it? One of the medics. I overheard something, and he was like to give the like report or something, and they said, the lady at the computer's like, okay, what do we got? And the dude's like, yeah, he passed out having sex. So apparently he came and the orgasm was just too powerful, and he passed out, and his girlfriend was like super like wigged out, and she didn't know what to do, so she just called 911. And yeah, that's how he got there. And I don't know if that guy was on drugs, but this just reminds me of that instance that I had.
Let's Let's talk about him. Salem, Oregon. A man on meth starts masturbating in a bar. Par for the course, what I would imagine is going on in Salem, Oregon. However, this man took enough meth to kill a healthy pony. So, you know, he was really determined to get the job done.
How?
You know what I'm saying. Cops show up, try and detain him and deter him, but he was too quick and too fast with it, so he ran into the bathroom and locked himself in there. This went on for hours, and yet he kept going at it. So the cops bust in the door and hit him with the old Z27. And while being tased, guess what? Didn't even phase the fella. Became a superhuman off that meth and jerked off to his heart's content. Undeterred.
Holy shit, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Unfazed, this man had a mission, and you gotta respect it. You know?
Bro, that meth is like Compound V from The Boys. It just gives you temporary superpowers, like Temp V. I wonder if that, like the Temp V is supposed to be like analogous to the Big M.
No, he probably had a good willpower before he did the meth, I would assume. In total, 15 cops had to show up to make this man stop touching himself, and he only stopped touching himself once they put handcuffs on him, because he physically couldn't do it anymore. Don't do meth. Don't do meth. Number 2, we have another penis story, and this one is much more horrific. I'm not kidding. Columbus, Ohio, where any good story takes place, there was a man 41 years old who decided to push his limits when taking mushrooms. He eventually stumbled into his old middle school grounds, and the people called the cops because all of a sudden he was covered in blood and screaming. But you know what the cops saw when they first showed up on the scene? It was a man ripping off his own penis, like it was some fucking tag on a shirt that was irritating your neck. It took 6 officers to subdue him and put him in the ambulance. And I kind of get it. I mean, I don't know where he was at mentally.
Bro, superpowers are 100% real when you have that many people needing to take down one person. Drugs, damn.
But 6 dudes showing up and throwing you in a van is probably the last thing you want in this situation. And it was later discovered that after he got the old tallywhacker off, he was then trying to claw off his scrotum. There's levels to doing hallucinogenics that are so stupid. And finally, last but not least, we have all the shit people in Florida do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just, you know, the whole list. I don't want to talk shit about Florida that much. It's been.
That's why the next GTA game is based in Florida. Because it's a country in and of itself.
Overdone, but a lot of them are doing drugs. A lot of them are on drugs. We have to give them that. We have that
what was that number of Florida meth labs?
Just, you know, the whole list. I don't want to talk shit about Florida that much. It's been overdone, but a lot of them are.
Number of Florida meth lab seizure incidents. Okay, seizure. I mean, I guess they're taking, not the shaking thing. Increase from meth lab. Wait, I don't know what the term seizure means. Like, are they taking like meth labs and like busting them? Increase of 77% from 2007 to 2012. Yeah, that's a lot of meth labs getting seized. God, or is this like seizure? Like the person was in having a seizure in a meth lab? I don't know. Either way, this number is too damn high.
Doing drugs. A lot of them are on drugs. We have to give them that. We have that famous story out of Miami where that dude, you know, snorted bath salts and ate someone's face. Do we remember that? Also, in Fort Myers, a carnival.
Bro, 100%. That's gonna be a quest in GTA 6.
Worker on bath salts got naked and broke into a house, and that's not the crazy part. I'm gonna list all the shit he did once he got into the house. In this order, he emptied their vacuum bag on the carpet, kind of a dick move. Masturbated, par for the course once again. Pooped on the floor, ramping up. Pooped on the floor again, 2 times a pattern. Then rubbed his face all over their clothing, once again, just kind of a dick move. And then he started drinking the remaining contents of the vacuum cleaner, but he didn't eat anyone's face. So, you know, I would say that's
bro, that's so stupid. Jesus Christ.
Win. So obviously drugs are pretty messed up. Just don't do drugs. And if
come on, a bath salt is not made to be whatever that guy did. What did he do? Snort them or whatever? Bath salts are bath salts.
If you are gonna do drugs, let's go by the rule: everything in moderation. Drugs are bad, okay, but you know it's not bad. Liking, commenting, and subscribing.
True.
Videos every Saturday. Thanks for watching. What did I want to say? I feel like I had something else I wanted to say.
Where's the
just the word thanks with an exclamation point. Good script writing. Talk.
Hell yeah, dude. Watch this. Hell yeah. Exclamation. Dope. Bro, that was so fucking funny. I love how fucking Tug can take any subject and just persuade you on to either do it or don't do it, and what he thinks about it. It's so fucking good, man. I love it. It's every time I watch one of these, I'm just it's so good. I don't know. But god dang. Oh man. Okay, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one later.